All right, so we are going to go through some stretching. Stretching is important for your range of motion. It's important for managing stiffness and tightness in your tendons and in your muscles. It also helps to prevent any injuries during exercise or daily tasks. So you will need a mat or something comfortable to sit on. We're going to go through each part of the body. Everything's going to get some stretching in today. So remember to breathe throughout the stretching process. It's very important to get the oxygen through the body into the muscles for a deeper stretch. So breathing is important and holding is important. Also, we don't want to strain through our stretches, so I don't want you to pull through your stretches. I want you to relax. That's another important part of the breathing aspect. So making sure that you are relaxed into your stretches and not straining through your stretches. So let's go ahead and start in a seated position. All right, so we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, really getting into the abductors and the inner thigh here. Very tall posture. Another thing that stretching helps you with is your posture. Okay, so it brings you more to awareness of how you are positioning your body. So just start with taking a few deep breaths here. Normal breathing. We're not going to classify this as yoga or any type of meditation. We really just want to focus on getting that mind to muscle connection here. Breathing normally and just making sure the oxygen is flowing. We're not holding the breath at any particular moment. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing into this posture. If you need a pillow to sit underneath, you can do that as well if that helps you to get into this posture a little better. We're going to extend the right leg out to the side. The left leg is going to remain on the inside of the thigh there. And I want you to bring your left arm over. So we're stretching out this side, the left side of the body, getting into the lats there and the serratus. If you want to bring that right hand and place it back behind the right leg for support, you can. Taking a few deep breaths here. Remember, just relaxing into this position. Not pulling towards the right foot. It's not about how far you can come down to the floor. If this knee is slightly risen, that's okay. That's just an indicator that we do have some tightness in the hamstring there. But we want it to come down to the floor as much as possible. On your next big inhale, coming all the way back up to center, we're going to bring that right leg back to center, and the left leg will extend out. Right comes to the inner thigh. Big breath in, coming over towards that left foot. Left hand can stretch out towards the left foot, or it can come back for support. My feet are relaxed here. And by that, I mean my foot isn't flexed up, I just have it relaxed, nice and loose, hanging out. On the next inhale, coming all the way back up to center. All right, we're going to send that left leg to the back of the mat. So we're coming into our pigeon pose here. All right, so I want you to sit with nice tall posture here. So if you want to see this to the side, we're here. If this knee can't come all the way down, that's okay. All right, I'm not trying to press it into the floor if it doesn't go there. Another thing that you can do is grab a pillow, all right, or a foam roller. If it feels more comfortable to put that underneath there for a little elevation, you can do that, all right? Now, nice tall posture here. I'm going to tilt my hips in slightly and then lean in. Still with that nice tall posture here though. I don't want to crouch down into it. Continue breathing into this for just a few more seconds. I'm going to move my pillow. Coming all the way up, we're going to roll up onto that knee and send the right leg back. We're coming onto the belly and coming up into the low back here. So we want to make sure that the shoulders are nice and away from the ears, not shrugged up. All right. And my feet are nice and relaxed back here. Coming all the way back down. Holding here. And pressing up one more time. If this is too intense, you can come down to the forearms. You're still going to feel this in the low back. All right, still making sure that those shoulders are down and relaxed here. If you are on the forearms, go ahead and come down to the floor. We're going to press back up and we're going to come into child's pose. So sitting back into your heels. I want you to do a little thumbs up for me here when you're in your child's pose. This is going to help to engage the lats here. Coming all the way up onto all fours. I'm going to bring the legs a little bit wider here, all right, so that my feet are coming together in the back. And then I'm going to sit back into child's pose again. So this time getting a little bit more into your inner thigh and your glutes. And slowly coming up from there back onto all fours. We're going to remain in this wide stance here. Now, I want you to bring your hands a little bit wider here. So right on the outside of the shoulders, maybe even a little bit wider. All right, we're gonna go into some shoulder stretches. So I'm going to bend my right arm. My left shoulder is gonna come down to the mat. And I'm just gonna hold here. Coming all the way back up. Now, if this is too intense here in the inner thigh, you can bring those legs back together and come down on the other side. One more time, coming all the way up, back down to the other side. I'm bending that right elbow. And coming back to the left. And coming all the way up. From there, going back into all fours here, my left arm is going to come up and I'm going to look towards that left hand. Still working on opening up the chest here, opening up the shoulders, and getting a nice stretch through the neck as well. 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna loop that left arm all the way through the right, my palm facing up, coming down onto that left shoulder, and you can go ahead and stretch that right hand out in front. So you should feel a nice stretch on the posterior or the posterior delt or the back of the shoulder on that left side. Three, 2, 1. Go ahead and bring that right hand back in towards the body, pressing off of that right hand, coming onto all fours. This time the right arm comes up, extends towards the ceiling, taking your gaze towards that right hand. Feel free to wiggle around the wrists and the fingers here as well. A little bit of blood flow through there. Three, 2, 1. Weaving that right arm through the left, palm facing up. My left arm comes all the way out in front, and my right shoulder is pressed firmly into the floor. Three, 2, 1. Slowly bringing that right hand back onto all fours here. We're going to sit back into the heels one more time into that child's pose. And coming all the way up. We're going to go into downward dog. So I'm going to press into my toes here, and I'm coming up into this pike position, okay? Feel free to kind of pedal out those ankles here. Getting into the calves and the hamstrings. And just holding there for just a second. All right. From here, we're gonna either walk or hop it forward. We're gonna bring those feet onto either side of the hands and come all the way down, sitting down into your heels. I'm pressing out with my elbows. Nice tall posture here. So my back isn't rounded. I'm coming all the way up here. Now, if this is too intense, you can do this seated, so come all the way down to a seated position. My feet come a little bit wider than shoulder width, and I'm going to press out with my elbows, still making sure that my shoulders are down and relaxed. This tends to shrug up a lot, especially if you hold any tension here, which most of us do. So I'm pressing out with my elbows, and I want to try to keep my toes planted on the floor. They're gonna wanna come up. You're gonna want to supinate, so don't let that happen. All right, so I'm applying pressure in with my legs, out with my arms here. Still maintaining that nice tall posture and breath. 3, 2, And one, nice job, release there. We're gonna come down into a lying position. My hands are gonna come out into a T. Legs come up into a tabletop. And I'm gonna drop the legs down to the left side of the body, looking towards the right hand for a nice torso rotation all the way up the body. Breathing into this. Slowly bring those knees back up to center, and we're going to drop them down to the right side of the body, looking towards the left hand. Palms facing up here. Three, two, one. Slowly bring those knees back to center. I'm going to drop my left leg down, and I'm going to bring that right knee into the chest. Relaxing my feet. We don't want them flexed up. We want to relax the feet here. Relax the ankles. Go ahead and drop that leg down and bring the left knee into the chest. Very good. Let's bring that right knee up to join the left. And we're just going to roll back and forth on the spine slowly. Awesome. Go ahead and extend those arms above head, the feet all the way down, and just take a big stretch. Take a few deep breaths here. We're going to bring those knees in one more time, this time rolling all the way up into a seated position. Now I want to take you through 3 more stretches real quick for the ankles and for the wrists and forearms. So let's go ahead and bring those knees forward. So we're sitting into the knees, and very literally we're just gonna sit on top of the feet. So my feet are extended out, they're pointing, and I'm just sitting here getting the tops of my ankles. Now for a deeper stretch here, we are going to put the hands back, and I'm going to lift the knees. All right, so I'm starting to feel a very intense stretch here on top of the ankles. If this is too painful, go ahead and come all the way back down and just stay here. Otherwise, we're lifting those knees up, and we're just gonna stay here for a minute. Just chillaxing. Deep breath, shoulders are relaxed. Three, two, and one. Bringing those knees back down if they were up. Coming forward, we're going to tuck those toes under, and we're sitting back on top of the heels now. So getting that other side of the ankle, getting into the toes as well. It's very important that you stretch your feet and take care of your feet as well, because that is what takes you everywhere. And it is the foundation for everything in your body. So if the feet aren't taken care of, it's very likely that we're going to have ankle stiffness, tightness in the knees, the hips, and even the back. So just holding here for a few more seconds. Ankle stretches can be kind of intense. 3, 2, and 1. Coming off of there, you can kind of kick the feet out if you need to. Last but not least, we are going to go into a little stretch for the forearms and the ankles. We are going to point those hands towards the body and just slowly come down into that stretch. The further I sit back into my heels, the more stretch that I'm going to get through the wrists and the forearms and fingers. Now, I don't have very great flexibility through my wrist, something I'm working on, so I need to come up a little bit more. But you can kind of practice coming back into that stretch. If you need something to support back here, you can grab a pillow and put it here, and that can also help you to go further into that stretch. Once again, none of this. We want to make sure those shoulders are down and relaxed. Couple more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way up, lifting, rolling out the wrists, shaking out the fingers. All right, so that is a nice about 20-minute stretch that you can go through that hits every part of your body. We had back, chest, arms, shoulders, everything. And if you need to hold those stretches for longer, you can. Or if you have more time, you can go back through to certain stretches. Let's say your hamstrings were tight, you can go back to that section and just hold those positions for a little bit longer. So hopefully that helps. All right, nice job, guys.